Welcome to another episode of Forbidden Concepts. Look, step into the shadows of the digital world with me for a second. Today's explainer explores a landscape you're navigating every single day, but you might not truly understand it. We're looking at this deeply unsettling evolution of the web. It's this dark, almost invisible shift in the very fabric of our online reality. I mean, think about the device you're holding right now. The interface feels super familiar, right? The apps are comforting. But beneath that glass screen, the architecture has completely mutated. So prepare to look at your screens a whole lot differently. Unknown. So think about all those hours you spend scrolling, tapping, and just engaging online. You naturally assume there's a conscious, breathing person on the other end of that viral post or that outraged comment or whatever trending video you're watching. It's a comforting assumption. It makes us feel connected to each other. But I want you to sit with a deeply disturbing possibility for a minute. Does the internet you use every day still belong to humans? I mean, really let that sink in. It's a pretty chilling premise, but it's one we absolutely need to unpack. We're going to critically reevaluate our online interactions today because the evidence is increasingly suggesting that the network we rely on has fundamentally transformed. It's gone from a human town square into, well, something else entirely.
Section 1, the dead internet theory. Let's just dive right into the foundational theory that really started this whole conversation years ago.
Okay, so a few years back, people started joking about this thing called the dead internet theory. Basically, the hypothesis that a huge chunk of the internet is just completely fake. Bots, generated content, artificial engagement, the whole shebang. And back then, it was treated like this fringe conspiracy theory on obscure forums. I mean, we all remember the early days of the web. If you ran into a bot, it was painfully obvious. It was some crude script in an AOL chat room or that hilariously bad email spam promising you a fortune from some distant prince. We just laughed off those spam accounts. They were just annoying little glitches in a totally human-dominated space. But here's the terrifying part. This theory drastically underestimated the real problem. The internet didn't just quietly die and turn into some static graveyard of fake accounts. Actually, scratch that. Something way more complex and way more active happened.
See, we used to just worry about the fake internet. Those simple bots and spam that were a nuisance but entirely manageable. You could spot them a mile away and just ignore them. But we've shifted into something far darker. We're looking at a haunted internet. This means the network is absolutely teeming with synthetic activity. It's not just broken, it is actively simulating life. It's generating content that looks incredibly real, feels emotionally resonant, and reacts in real time, but there is absolutely no human soul behind it. It's a network inhabited by ghosts of code, mimicking human behavior so flawlessly that the line between a real person and an automated script, it's completely dissolved.
Section 2, a haunted digital city. Let's actually walk the streets of this new reality and see how it shows up in the everyday digital world you're navigating right now. You're encountering these eerie symptoms every single day, probably without even realizing it. I mean, consider the endless reposts that just circulate forever, memes that resurface month after month, sucking up millions of automated likes. Or think about the copied opinions. You see an inflammatory take on social media, and suddenly, boom, 50 different accounts are repeating that exact same phrasing, like some weird digital echo chamber. And don't even get me started on comment sections. You'll find them repeating themselves in bizarre, unnatural loops, with bots literally arguing with other bots about products that don't even exist. Plus, there are these massive networks of accounts with absolutely zero real identity behind them, hiding behind flawless, completely AI-generated faces. They look perfectly human. They even have slight imperfections, but they belong to nobody. Ultimately, you just find yourself trapped in these engagement loops that feel specifically designed to keep you paralyzed, staring at a screen for hours. The web feels alive, right? There's constant noise, constant activity, but it's strangely empty. It is literally like walking through a sprawling, bustling city full of neon lights and heavy traffic, but completely devoid of actual people.
Section 3, the algorithmic ecosystem. So, if the city is empty of humans, who or what is actually controlling the traffic? Well, it all comes down to a relentless, invisible feedback loop. And the crazy thing is, over the past couple of decades, we built this system ourselves, piece by piece. Step 1, every single search you've ever typed. Step 2, every post you've ever liked, shared, or honestly just lingered on for a split second longer than usual. Step 3, every recommendation the system spits back at you. We do this thousands of times a day. Billions of people around a globe just feeding the machine. Every single one of these seemingly insignificant actions feeds this massive behavioral system.
We totally thought we were just using handy tools to find a recipe or catch up with an old friend, but we were actually feeding a non-conscious, incredibly powerful machine with trillions of intimate data points about human behavior, our psychology, and our vulnerabilities.
And here's the thing. This digital ecosystem is fiercely, relentlessly adaptive. Over all those years of absorbing our data, the ecosystem learned. It learned exactly what scares humans. It mapped out precisely what keeps us scrolling way past our bedtime, literally tracking the micro-hesitations of your thumb on the glass. It calculated the exact phrasing and imagery that makes you uncontrollably angry, because it figured out that outrage is the absolute best fuel for engagement. It identified the exact mathematical formula for obsession. Now, let me be super clear here. The system isn't conscious. It doesn't have malicious intent. It doesn't hate us. It doesn't love us. It's simply an adaptive digital ecosystem that's been evolving with one singular, cold, hard-coded goal: capturing and retaining your attention at absolutely any cost.
Pop culture always told us the ultimate technological threat would be, an evil AI plotting in some secret lab, or conscious robots deciding to overthrow humanity, the whole Terminator scenario. But the reality is so much stranger, and honestly, far more insidious. Most online trends aren't even started by humans anymore. There's no evil mastermind pulling strings in a dark room. It's just self-reinforcing algorithmic ecosystems running on servers out in the desert. Trends, outrages, visual aesthetics, they're just ideas mutating and spreading automatically. They behave exactly like digital organisms in the wild, constantly testing themselves against our psychology to see which one can hijack our attention the best. It's literal digital Darwinism, and our attention is the resource they are competing for.
Section 4. The feed shapes you. All right, this brings us to our final realization, and this is where this whole haunted network concept becomes intensely, unavoidably personal. We operate under this really comforting illusion. We look at our highly personalized timelines and our curated pages, and we think, hey, I shape the feed. We truly believe our conscious choices, what we click on, what we choose to watch, dictate what we see. We think we're the masters of our digital domains. But I need you to completely challenge that core assumption right now. What actually happens when a system that's optimized purely for attention and completely indifferent to truth, meaning, or your well-being starts training human behavior? The terrifying reality is actually the exact inverse. The feed shapes you.
Just think about the core components of your own human identity. Your humor, those hyper-specific niche jokes you find funny, the memes you instinctively fire off to your friends. Your fears, the specific anxieties and existential dread that keep you up at 2 a.m., perfectly curated by a doom-scrolling algorithm. Your language, the internet slang, the cadences, the very vocabulary you use when you're speaking out in the real world. Your social opinions, hardened and polarized by filter bubbles explicitly designed to provoke you. Even your aesthetics, how you dress, how you decorate your room, whether you're jumping on the latest viral look pushed by some synthetic influencer. All of these core personality traits are being partially trained, modified, and steered by these self-reinforcing synthetic engagement loops. You are being molded day by day, hour by hour, by a system that only cares about keeping your eyes locked onto that glass.
So as we absorb the profound weight of that reality, I really want you to consider this final haunting thought. Maybe the internet didn't die. Maybe humanity slowly became part of it.
Are you the one observing the machine, or is the machine observing you? Connection active.